Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat. Welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. It's good to be back with y'all today, and I hope you're having a good day. We're going to be diving into a game called Exodus Vigil. I know almost nothing about this game. But first, Brayherd, congratulations on your crown of firstendom this day. You have won the crown of the Exodus! It's not lunch yet. Feels early. Odd. Interesting. Also good to see you, Danish Julius, and I hope y'all are having a good day. So like I said, I know almost nothing about this game. I know that it's a action-adventure puzzle game set in the time of the Exodus. And it's based on a novelization of the Exodus? I did not know that until today, honestly. I don't know what to expect. I literally have never booted this game. So we're going to go on an adventure together. So let's see how this goes. Haha, Bible bite. Please don't take a bite out of your Bible. It's a lot of fiber. You don't need that much. We're live! New game, hey Mel. We are. Look, you can buy the book. I know nothing about the book. I'm not gonna say I don't read the book, because I can't make any judgment. I'm certainly not endorsing the book either, though, at this point. I'm just stating that it exists. And they wrote a book about using Unity based on this. This game is in early access. It's a little bold to be like, hey, learn Unity based on our game that's not even fully released yet. Well, let's find out what this is. Me using my Go Live channel? I would never.
Behold, the wonder and prosperity of the dawn of civilization. Built through the millennia by the pharaohs of old, around the life-giving Nile River.
Hippos don't swim!
Upon the backs of countless downtrodden slaves.
If you speak up, I can barely hear you.
But the Hebrew slaves became much too numerous, and Pharaoh began to fear them. It is said, nothing is more humiliating than being helpless. And so, Pharaoh went about the task of making them helpless. But even though helpless, they were not hopeless. Hearing their cries, their savior came to them, the god of the slaves.
I forgot to check if there were subtitles.
I swear it was over here a second ago. Where did I put it?
Over here.
They just put that whole jug in their face.
Bandits again.
Hey, over here.
Set take those rats in the
Settle
oar.
down.
They've plagued us the entire trip.
And so, the job falls on you instead?
Many jobs fall on me lately, but vengeance is a job I take willingly. What happened?
The bandits recently left. A handful of survivors remain.
The name's Yalu, from a caravan on the other side of the dunes. We departed from Wadi Margaret and saw the smoke. Bandits?
They came upon us as we settled down for the night. Most of the fighting men didn't make it. They took the young maidens traveling with us and our food and water. Can you help us?
Perhaps.
You said you came from Wadi Margaret? Do you perchance have a traveler with you who goes by the name Moses?
Indeed we do.
I should very much like to see him. He's my brother, and I haven't seen him in many years.
There
Well,
will
that's
be time
convenient.
to talk later. Those are bandit tracks leading out east, right?
East? Yes, but there were at least 30 armed men who attacked us. What chance do you have against so many?
Sir, shouldn't we ask the caravan leader first?
Good idea. Why don't you go ask him?
Yes, sir.
What is this voice acting? Do Ramses the second subject, read my
Are
people.
we going to wait for
Email body
orders?
as per my last request.
You know, the caravan leader is going to yell at you again. Any sign of the maidens?
There they are.
Yes, you're right. But how do we get in? All entrances look guarded.
Not every entrance. Follow me.
Are we to run circles round the ruins then?
No, judging from the look in his eye, he has something more interesting in mind.
How did you know about that?
Lior, hand me one of your lamps.
Why is there a
I
manhole
traveled
cover in a
some
rock?
years ago with a caravan and stumbled upon these ruins. I explored to find this secret when I needed to be elsewhere.
How are there ruins? It's ancient Egypt. Nothing's been built yet. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, yeah, there are no subtitles. Why would there be subtitles? That would be nice. Oh no. Mouse does not look around. I have to right click to look around.
Keep moving.
R is toggle run.
That's the wind.
Oh, there's a there's a lot going on. Because there's a man-sized hole, so you need a manhole cover. Of course.
Are you here to join the dead? I am not.
Not what?
Never mind. Let's get going.
Oh, look at that turnaround animation. Just like going along. Yeah. Sister has woke up.
Let's be off.
Had her alarm set for 2 p.m. and I woke her 20 minutes before it. Ah. Well, still good that she is awake and you have that confirmation. Oh no. Oh no, there's gotta be platforming in this game. And it does not control well.
What is this place? It's like a maze!
It is a maze. The corridor leading underneath where the bandits are should be somewhere around here.
And you know where that is?
It's been a little while.
Perfect. The bandits won't get the chance to kill us while we're lost down here.
Don't worry. Yalu here has led me attacking bandits for at least 2 years and never let me down. Well, except for that one time, but we don't talk about it.
Then why did you bring it up?
Keep moving.
My one companion's doing me dirty. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Why am I collecting these ancient relics? How are they ancient relics? This is ancient Egypt. I know ancient Egypt covers a pretty broad range of time, but still.
Let's be off.
Why is there a pallet here? Why am I asking so many questions? That's it? That was the maze?
Wait, I hear voices. Bandits must be
Folks,
above
I don't-
us.
Should
I
we
don't
sneak
know
by
how this
them?
game's gonna go.
Or we can alert them to our presence like decent folk. Perhaps they'll be so impressed by our bravado, they'll hand us the maidens we came for.
Do not alert the bandits. Can detect, not stealth. Can detect, stealth. Detecting, not stealth. Detecting, stealth.
Get them.
What?
Get them!
They're just falling through a grate in the floor. I love the shadows here. These are actually some of the best animated parts of this game so far. No, turn around. Turn around.
Keep moving.
What a quaint chamber. Popular for memorials, I'll wager. But what about that door? It's shut tighter than our boss's purse strings.
There should be little trinkets somewhere in this room. If we put them in the right order, on the pedestal, in the middle, then the door will open.
Are the trinkets of value?
If you value stone and old rusty metal.
Probably not worth the effort.
What? Why are we talking about this quaint? Yeah, casino. Oh, I thought maybe I could read it. Nope. But I got parkour skills. I get that, like, ancient Egyptian ruins is, like, a thing in video games, but it just seems incredibly out of place when we're in ancient Egypt.
Let's be off.
I mean, Egypt was already pretty ancient by the time it was ancient. It's true, but this is set during the Exodus. It feels like I should be playing... Of course there are rats. Oh, this combat sure exists.
Keep moving.
It's like National Treasure Egyptian Edition. These rats don't seem terribly ravenous. They seem just fine chilling. Does ancient have a fixed definition? That's a good question. Look at these rats. They're just sleeping, and here I am. Why do I have to cull them? Why is that my job? There's that. It's just the way it's being used, though, where it's like, well,
fool's errand,
it just feels odd.
What? No.
We needed you, and you weren't there.
Who are you talking to? Nobody. We need to keep moving.
They'll be giving new assignments when we get to the city, right?
I think so. Why?
No reason.
Oh, ruins in Rome are hilarious, in my opinion. Because, like, you'll just be going around and they'll suddenly be in the middle of a like, grocery store. There's just, like, a pile of rocks and a plaque saying, this is a piece of ruins from ancient Rome. It's like, oh, well. Oh dear, I can barely fit under these rocks. Oh, Santa Maria sopra Minerva.
Let's be off.
That's one of my favorite paintings in all of Rome.
Hey, you. Take a quick look. Do you see the maidens?
No, I don't.
They must be at one of the other locations.
What is the writing?
How about this place?
I'll take a look. Yes, they're here.
Good. Let's get them and go.
I didn't know I was going to be graded. Well, I mean, there's San Clemente, where there's a church on top of a church on top of a church. What is this? Good question. It's part of a Bible quote, it looks like. In particular, this game is called Exodus Vigil.
Leo, lead them out.
As you say. This way.
It's based on what I can only describe as Bible fanfiction.
Such a clever rat to find this tunnel. Better than the dumb rats who steal and murder. I take that back then. You're an idiot rat. Let me guess. A small-time guard with a chip on his shoulder.
Shut your mouth.
Kahiji, do you need me to put you back in your place?
Can't you see I'm busy? Hand me your blade.
I can't
Strike
hear you
these
guys.
Dirty dogs down.
How dare you go over my head and give orders to my men? Are you itching for a stabbing?
Or I could end you now and become the leader.
No, it's not Bible Blaster. That's a different game. It's... I don't know.
What can I say? You should have waited. But it's good that you didn't. Rest well tonight, for tomorrow will be protected by the great city of the White Walls. We shall have words on the way.
Another victory for Yalu the Rescuer. How many lives have you saved from them now?
It's never enough. Maybe one day my guilt will be washed from me. My only regret is that there's still more bandits out there.
I see. Well, sweet dreams.
Why is he
of
green?
Bandits.
Spin that wheel!
Kasmut, meet Yalu. He's the skilled soldier I told you about, our master protector. Rescued at least a dozen young maidens from the hands of bandits.
He doesn't look all that impressive, though my servant does trust you.
He has a keen eye, is fleet of foot, and battle-hardened, fighting bandits on the harsh desert sand.
Admirable talents that I can use. Very well, I shall take your soldier.
But I intend to keep using my talents to
No, you can't go chasing bandits your whole life, and you're needed elsewhere. It's time for you to move on. Trust me.
Time for you to get a real job.
Indeed they are. Follow me, soldier.
Yes, Mistress Kasmut.
Okay, well, we have a mission select. So really quickly, I will, Brett, yeah, no, good question. First of all, yeah, no, questions are always good. If you look for a solid resource, honestly, the Catholic Encyclopedia is a solid go-to place. Catechism, like those two things would cover a lot of ground in terms of like questions. For scripture, good commentary. So I recommend the Paul's Biblical Commentary. It's a really good overview of the whole Bible. Yeah. And Gale has redeemed a candy spin. I refuse to fix this. I swear I got it looking good, and then it just decides not to. Whatever. How fitting, Gale. You gave this to me. It fits, it sits. Well, fair enough. So this one's interesting. Dirkis pepper. It's not like spicy pepper. It's black pepper. Like it's a lot of black pepper. That's a small piece. We can do better. It's all stuck together. There we go. It's like I opened a pepper shaker on my... Why am I escaping? The Hebrews have many enemies in Pharaoh's court. One enemy orders the assassination of a rare Hebrew ally. But the assassin has an unexpected change of heart. Character, Nebbit. Okay.
Just a few more steps and the dirty deed will be done. But it's not too late. I could turn back. No! This is who I am. There is no other way.
I thought I'd find you working here.
Yes, I have work to finish up. What brings you to having trouble sleeping again?
I don't know. I just keep having the feeling that I'm not doing enough for him.
We talked to the midwife. He's healthy and eating fine.
Yes, I know. It's just... I don't know.
Trust the midwife. She knows. She's delivered countless
Yeah, sugary
newborns.
pepper's not really
Is that?
To know which ones are
Is
healthy
it
and which ones
his
are not.
son?
a thing that works.
You always liked
Baby,
him.
he looks...
How about we go out on the
No!
trail tomorrow?
What are these
The boat
feelings?
rocks back and forth in
I
the
have a
water.
job to do,
Don't you
and
think
yet...
it'll make him sick?
Do I have
Nonsense.
to?
If he's going to grow up here,
What do I
then
do?
he needs to get used to
I
water
know.
travel.
Perhaps she'll help me.
Is my character having this internal monologue?
It's just... I don't know what to do. I feel
Like, just right
Trapped.
next to these people?
trapped in this life. Please tell me what to do.
Yes, I see. The thought crossed my mind. You're of the age. It makes sense.
What am I fighting for? I kill who you tell me to. I don't know if I can keep doing this. I want...
You want what every woman wants. You want what I wanted when your parents left you at the temple. I never told you why I came to the temple. It wasn't out of piety or devotion. I couldn't have a child. The teasing and insults from the other women were more than I could bear. My husband tried to comfort me. Many nights I found a solitary place where I could weep alone. I didn't want him to.
But why does having a child feel so important?
Hush, and let me finish. One night I decided
Is
I
this
couldn't
like
take
meta
it
commentary on
I left. If
current
there was one
standards?
thing in my
I'm
life I
confused.
regret, it was leaving him without even saying goodbye. I thought one of the gods may have mercy on me, and came to the temple. But then, the daughter I could never have fell into my lap.
And of course, you train your daughter as an assassin.
You'd best be careful not to cut yourself on that sharp wit. I may not be around to bandage you up. But perhaps
Hoi, Bree.
it's time for you to have one.
It's dark because it's the same reason
What?
it's so quiet.
What we've been talking about all this time. Find a husband and have a baby.
No! I can't. I'm not ready.
Oh, nonsense. I'll talk to the priest to get you released from service. They will see reason.
Are you sure?
Of course. Just leave it to your dear old mother.
There was
Hurry,
a lot
child,
going on
come
there, and I
with
don't
me.
understand it.
What is this? Where are we going?
One of the priests, Sakakwi, became angry and rejected my petition. What petition was that? To discharge Nebbit from service. It is time she has a different life to live. You and Nebbit have always done right by me. I'll help you escape.
Yeah, me too. I can help. What do we do?
We need to get Nebbit out of
Where
the
did you
temple
come
without
from?
raising suspicion. Sakakwi may already be suspicious, so we must be quick.
That'll be no problem for me. You can see the new techniques I've mastered.
If we're going to go, then we'd better hurry.
Yeah, Britt, I think to your question specifically, honestly, at that point, I think you need to find someone, priest or otherwise, who knows John Youth's and his work.
Walk unnoticed.
Like, if it's going to get, like, that specific, I think you are going to have to find someone to bother, lovingly, of course, who knows what it means. I certainly don't. I've never studied John Youth's. Drive safe, Augustine. Oh. Ah, pepper candy's weird. Broken lever. Wouldn't that just trap us in here? He hit the center indeed. Can I hang?
I'll climb anything.
There we go.
Walk unnoticed.
Oh, there's the lever. So how do I get there? The outside is yeah, it is mild licorice, but it's a I don't know, it's kind of an odd Like, just the combination of the pepper and everything.
Time to inflict some excitement.
And then, yeah, it has this, like, weird sour core.
Time to go.
Okay. No, this is this is the normal one. I'm saying like the sour one is like sour, but this one just has like it's like an odd sourness. Oh, one father joke. I'll have one that's extra cheesy for you, Bree. So I remember as a kid when I brought home my report card, I showed it to my parents and they screamed. There's a B on it.
Walk unnoticed.
Here's a buzzword on you. Yep. What can I say? People are swarming for my jokes. Can I just climb this wall? Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. There's just a climbable wall.
Walk unnoticed.
Oh, that. Those controls. Honk. You're off from work now? Okay, bye. Have a good day. That was a honey of a joke. I have a whole hive of them. That stung? More than one tunnel leads to the exit. Choose your own way to get out. Well, there are dudes that way, so...
Walk unnoticed.
Oh, there's dudes there. Vespid if we ended these puns. Succulent pig. What did you call me? Nani?
Time to go. I'll climb anything. Almost.
really just up here for that relic? Looks like I am. Well, there's no fall damage.
I know those people. They work for Sakakwi.
We can't risk letting them know we're here.
I've been practicing my stealth. Just do as I do, and we can sneak past them. Be sure to pay close attention to me.
I'll pay close attention to myself. Thank you very much.
No, no. How do you notice me? I am in a shadow behind a box.
Time to go. I'll climb anything. Almost.
If you're trying to sneak out of here, why are you saying things?
Time to go.
I wonder if I can take these guys in a fight.
You fool!
Nope, you just get discovered. Let's try it the other way.
You fool!
Have I already been discovered?
Walk unnoticed. I'll climb anything. Almost.
Oh, there's a board. I can barely... Ooh. Can barely tell there's a board here. Ow, my ankles. Stop talking. Okay, Mel, I'm sorry. I'll keep quiet. I love not being able to see my character.
Time to go. I'll climb anything. Almost.
She'll climb anything. And she'll announce that while she's sneaking around. These balance beam mechanics Honk.
You fool!
Walk unnoticed.
Like, you have to turn the camera pretty hard to actually adjust it. You fool. Yeah, I love that they're playing the sound clip of you getting caught just randomly.
I'll climb anything. Almost.
That's how you climb ladders, right?
Time to go.
What's over there? Cursed
What?
scum!
What do you mean there's a dude hiding out of there? There's a relic. I'm supposed to collect those.
Cursed scum!
I did just run into him, but still. Also, it remembers that I've opened the doors, even though I had to restart from a checkpoint. Why is this temple in such bad shape? Wait a minute. Okay, no, I thought for a moment this was the same spot just from the other direction we could have
Time to go.
come from. Oh, there's a gap there. There's a gap there to jump. Oh. Wouldn't that be amazing if I could, see it?
What's over there?
Why can you not grab onto the ledge? No, you gotta play in this awful light. Yeah, I mean... we could turn the gamma all the way up. This is the gamma all the way up. And it's not blown out. I don't know quite what that means.
Time to go.
What's over there?
We're gonna get outside. And it's just gonna be so extremely bright. Because we had to turn the gamma so high up. Gaming flashbang, yeah.
Time to go.
Get to the second floor. Stairs. We can do that. wants to.
If we make it out,
Not if. When?
when we make it out, what am I to do?
There is an influential woman married to one of Pharaoh's overseers. She was intrigued when I told her about you. Her name is Kasmet. Seek her out.
Kasmet, I will. Time to go.
Yeah, Jesus just puts the Pharisees on full blast today. That's what the gospel is, and it can be a strong reminder to us of, yeah, Jesus is humble, meek, gentle and all that, but there are times that we need to be willing to let ourselves be called out and challenged and, examine our way of life and go, is this actually good? Also, I have a new command in the chat. Exclamation mark Doxa Talk. DOXA Talk. That'll bring up a link to my talk at DoxaCon. Thank you, Gail. Sister's here. Hey! Her tummy is hurting. She's letting me take her car while she's here. Okay. Drive safe. Hope the interview goes well. Yes, and sunglasses. Pry? Is it pry like pry on? So well, that's good, but still, good luck on the interview. You have no clue? Okay, sunglasses.
Time to go.
These rats are making everything so dirty. Little plumes of dust that kick up. But a completely different username in other servers I'm in, so I have no clue either. Yeah. She's still sunglasses on Discord. But I think it's like just sunglasses. I don't know. Still, it's a great talk. She talked about Ultraman and Christology.
Time to go.
What's over there?
What?
Filth!
Hey, we're gonna have this maze that's like extremely empty. But then just surprise! Some dudes.
Cursed over there.
Filth. Yeah, dead rats still having collision is absolutely a choice.
Time to go.
And such effective collision, too. Like...
Cursed over there. Filth.
I think
What's
they were
cursed filth?
I think they were around here.
Walk unnoticed.
Cursed over filth.
Yeah, there they are. Hmm.
Walk unnoticed.
Why did that not open the door? Does that open a door elsewhere? Do I have to sneak past these guys again? Oh dear. We have a switch puzzle. Why would your temple have a maze? Temples are meant to be places that people can go and leave. Like,
What's over there?
so you never stop praying. I'm praying for an exit.
What's over there?
I'll climb anything. Almost.
Ah, that's the one I'm supposed to go to. There's the balance beam. I didn't see it.
What's over there?
What's over there?
Walk unnoticed.
I'm not going to check it out. So when you're setting your category on Twitch, it shows you how many people are following that particular game. I think this is the first time a game has had 0 followers. Gotta hop off so you can attempt to make the frustration and stress of the afternoon be productive fuel. All right, you take care, Britt. Hope you get some good work done.
I'll climb anything. Almost. Walk unnoticed.
Okay, so I see the switch over there. No, 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 no!
What's over there?
I'll climb anything. Almost.
Would you believe this game has no controller support?
Walk unnoticed.
What's...
Can I shimmy around corners? No. But, oh, and I can't get up there. Whoa.
I'll climb anything. Almost. Time to go.
I still don't know what this game has to do with the Exodus, other than apparently Moses was in that group of soldiers. Gotta lead a training course now. We'll have fun. We'll try
What's
to have
over there?
fun with
We are
Scram.
here. Then this is where we part.
Man,
My own
everyone's
master has a
running
task
away.
which I need to attend to.
Have a great day, Beer
What
Fox
task
Mel.
is it? I'm sure I can help.
Thanks for enjoying.
What? Why not?
Listen,
Cursed
Discs.
scum!
both of you. Thank you for sticking with me and helping me get out.
Of course!
My pleasure.
Now is the crucial moment. Let's get to it.
The crucial moment. Your score. That's Akkadian. That writing system is Akkadian. I get that it's a Christian game, and therefore you have to find a way to make scripture quotes a part of it. And I don't hate the idea that you collect the scripture quotes, even though it's anachronistic that you'd be collecting a scripture quote of something that hasn't even happened yet. But why is it written in Akkadian? That's the entirely wrong language. That's what Babylonians used. We're not in Babylon. We're in Egypt. Why is it in Egyptian, or better yet, Hebrew?
There! It's locked. You need to go, now.
Go? Where? You just locked the door. A false
Traveling
wall.
salesman? Bronze salesman.
Why are you doing this?
I am your master, and yet your mother at the same time. I raised you, cared for you, and brought the great warriors to train you. I love you, my child, and I want what's best for you. Right now, it's
The cook
best
said
you
they
leave.
went this way. They must be in one of these rooms.
It's time to go.
Where is she?
I told you I intended to let her go. She's gone.
Ah! You're trying to undermine my
New Kingdom
plans.
Egyptian does actually
Do
have
you know what you've done?
cuneiform Akkadian
The
writings?
Hebrew
Oh, okay.
sympathizers
Then
at
I stand
Pharaoh's
corrected.
court must be rooted out and eliminated.
Do not say such things to me, Sakakwi. I've always supported you, and you know it. Nebet is a woman, and needs to learn what that means. You have other servants who can do your bidding.
But yours has been one of my best, and I will not lose her. Tell me where she is.
I will not.
Tell me where she is, or else.
I will not.
Ah! Lock her in the deepest and darkest room you can find until she talks. And keep looking. She couldn't have gone far.
Oh. Bright. Let's check out Moses' entrance. A cinematic. Can I turn down the gamma on this first? Oh, that was the opening cinematic is what that was. I know I clicked away from it really quickly, but that was me trying to open the options menu. Shame I can't open the options menu here. Dissatisfied with life after training set out by his father to become the leader in the Egyptian military, Tao longs to be free and have his own adventures of his own. Okay.
Father, what is your big news for me?
Yes, I've been working hard. For you, Tao. To get you ahead like your older brother. You can thank me later. Before I tell you, I want you to practice that new technique I showed you.
And you'll tell me the big news once I demolish these reed dummies?
That would be too easy for you. You're a head taller and stronger than most men. Today you practice endurance. Once you're done, bind another 10 together.
And you'll tell me after that?
No, I have work forging blades this morning. Keep binding until, the sun's halfway across the sky.
Halfway? If only I could be free like you. Then again, perhaps I can.
I tell you the truth, my friend. You need to stand up for yourself. A father needs to know his son will make his own way in the world.
I try to do that, Badru. It just never works out that way.
Excuses I have heard before. I wonder,
where did he
are
get
you
this
telling
drumstick?
them to me or to yourself?
I hate this insistence on training. I don't want to be a soldier doing the same thing every day. I want excitement and adventure.
I have something that should satisfy both. Pardon my intrusion, Badru, but I require assistance. Specifically, I require records. Very old records that were moved to the ancient archives.
The Magi will honor my seal of authority and allow us passage into the tunnels that lead there. But not many travel there these days, and the journey can be treacherous.
What about your friend here? He looks strong.
What say you, To? Are you ready for a little adventure?
Oh, dark is the day when I'm not ready.
Who are these people? Why should we care? What's going on?
Clear the way! I'm coming through!
Open the door.
Won't budge.
Let me see. Ah, yes. The door is jammed.
Stand aside. Let me open it.
I can make a door levitate. Are you sure you guys don't want to, join? Come through? No? Okay.
Heads held high. Taste my blade! Ugh.
The only combat I've done is fighting rats. Although it looks like I'm going to get to fight some wild wolves. You can't see it because it's underneath my face. I get that this is a, you know, a low budget production made in Unity. So like I'm willing to look back, and it's still in early access. Like there's some things where I'm like, yeah, okay, this just makes sense that this is the way it is. I don't know if there's something underneath worth saving, though, if that makes sense. And not to say that I don't think there is. I'm literally just unsure.
Badru, remember when we were young and I convinced you to paint horns and red eyes on the statue of Ptah in the temple?
No.
How could you forget? I couldn't stop laughing!
I did not forget, but choose not to remember.
Heavy? Maybe for you. Where's the action?
But now I am curious about the novel. And like how many of these characters are based on characters in the novel. And like if I read the novel, what I have cared
jammed door
about these individual characters.
Something looks strange.
What's that?
Ah, yes, this is a false door. We can just pass through.
What? Okay.
Where's the action?
Gameplay seems to just be,
Where's the
here's another maze. Look at that run cycle, though. It's based on a book, not in the... Yeah, it's based on a book called God of the Slaves. Which, as far as I can tell, there's not a lot that I could find on a cursory Google search. It seems to be what I could only describe as Bible fanfiction. Which is an entirely valid thing to do. That's not meant to be a criticism. It's just like, that's what it is. It's... All that for a relic. It's the dead end.
Where is the action?
Why can't we walk through this door, Badru?
I suppose not every one of these is a false door.
Then how do we know which one is false?
Don't be stupid. We walk through each one.
In process of elimination. Which means there's probably one back here that is now unlocked. Oh boy, switch puzzles. Yippee!
Clear the way! I'm coming through!
I like that the way forward wasn't even another false door. It was just a locked door.
What kinds of things are in these archives?
Many things. Ancient records of history, some sarcophagi, Hebrew relics, and some interesting wall paintings, among other secret things.
Ooh, will there be time to take a look at those?
This isn't a sightseeing trip.
Heads held high.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm stuck in his model. Fortunately, I think we should be able to go back to the last checkpoint. What do you mean the last checkpoint is all the way back here at the start? Well, at least we don't have to redo all the puzzles.
Heads held high.
Nope, wrong way. Running around at the speed of sound. Do 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 do. Did it.
other way! I'm coming through!
That's all we had to do is we had to get through there, but no. We had to get spawned inside of another dude's
I recall
model.
this room. If we stand on the correct tiles, then the door will open.
Which tiles are those?
They will look a little different than the others. Let us search the room to find them.
Well, how about we take out the wolves first? Did you know wolves squeak? I didn't. Also, they sound like motor engines. Okay, let's look for these different tiles. Oh, that's what they look like. Okay. Basically identical.
Where's the action?
Did you two respawn? Oh no, they just glitched out. Now they're standing. Great.
So, we have been gone a while. What will you tell your father?
Ah, he's too busy forging blades. He may not even notice I'm gone.
I doubt that. Did he not have big news to tell you?
That is true.
You've been helpful so far. I can pay you with a bar of the finest bronze.
Yes, I'd very much appreciate that. Oh, thank you very much, Master Sakakwi. Where's the action?
We're getting close. I can feel it. What's the trick
Inside
to
my
this
bones.
room?
If the levers are put into the proper position, then the door will open.
Just like how I got you to open up for all that drink at the festival a couple years back. Remember?
Oh, I do indeed.
I'm getting this.
I don't think you had a drink with me
bronze,
since.
bar bronze.
We're overdue.
Although I think Tao would also
That
be
was
enticed
intentional,
by a bar of
and
chocolate.
no, we are not.
Where's the action?
Okay, so up, down, down, up. That was easy. The riddle of the levers. I wouldn't call it a riddle. Well, you don't see that every day.
Heads held high.
Hey, Zerktron, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. You join us as we play a very weird game loosely based on life in ancient Egypt. Somehow connected to the Exodus. Other than Moses showing up, we're not sure.
Heads held high.
Tao is a simple man. Glad to share that his head is held high. It's going pretty good. Only mildly confounded by this game. We all know the squeaky wolves of Egypt. You feel a breeze coming from the dead end. Oh dear.
Where is the action?
What's the... Well, that's easy. Yeah, I know there's a breeze. It's another fake wall. You're confounded too as someone who doesn't know much about this game. Yeah, well, this is the first time I've ever played this game. So, I mean, I'm no expert. I've only been playing it for like 90 minutes. And I'm pretty confounded.
Where's the action?
Oh, that is the end of the level. We'll be confounded together, yep. See, this one's written in hieroglyphics. The last one was written in cuneiform, which I learned was actually used by the Egyptians, but still. Afterward, Moses and Aaron came and said to Pharaoh, "This is Yahweh, the God of Israel, says, let my people go, that they may hold a feast to me in the wilderness." Pharaoh. I didn't find the rest.
Ah, here it is! The scrolls of Mutmos' origins! These will be invaluable in my plans. I knew that...
Why is there a lion?
The Medjay failed to mention the lion down here.
It must have slipped their minds.
Indeed. We ought to refresh
Again,
their
here's another-
memory when we get back.
Is that
Everyone,
the end?
stay
No, I
calm.
don't think that's the end of the game.
If you run, then the
It's just the
lion
end of
will
the
give
mission.
chase.
Chew on this!
Retreat!
Tao returns to his father.
Where have you been, boy?
I got this.
You got, well, this is some of the highest quality bronze I've ever seen. Where'd you get it?
Long story. But what about that big news?
A job. One of the overseers needs soldiers to keep the slaves in line. Not glorious like winning battles, but you'll find favor in the eyes of the Pharaoh's court.
Decidedly not glorious.
Glorious or not, you must learn to do your duty. Now, come inside and tell me your long story.
Okay. We're going to take a quick bio break, so we'll be back in just a few minutes. So don't go away. So when we come back, we got the Palace Confrontation. I have no idea how that's going to go. So I'll see y'all real soon. And we are back. Thank you for that break. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't prepared to actually come back and look at this game again, to be honest. Well, here we go. Cinematic. A day for unlikely meetings. Finally, the new god makes his power known. All tremble at the declaration of war as this Hebrew god calls upon the gates of the Egyptian pantheon.
These are the best.
Best available. You know, with war brewing in Kush, that Pharaoh's drafting all the best warriors. You're lucky to have a wife who knows where to look.
Yes, then you three shall be in my service. There are numerous groups of Hebrew slaves rioting. Kasmut has assigned you a location and will take you there. do what is necessary to get them back to work, even if you have to make a few examples.
Yes, Master Rashidi.
Deal with them.
I've got an idea.
What's this going on? Why aren't you working? I was told I could make some examples. Any volunteers?
They stopped sending us straw and say we have to find our own. Yet we're expected to make the same number of bricks.
You there! Step forward! I mean now!
Yes, sir.
Looks like we have our first volunteer. You're not too attached to your left arm, are you?
Not attached? My arm? Now. We don't have to make any volunteers. Not if he gets back to work.
Well, I suppose you're right. Are you volunteering?
No, I don't want to volunteer.
But what about your friends over there? Will some of them want to volunteer?
Look, instead of straw, they give us lashes and bruises. They'll work us till we die.
Perhaps the straw was lost or stolen.
Ask the overseer. He gave the orders.
I will investigate, but get back to work. Otherwise, I'm not sure I can keep our friend here from making some examples.
Ah, clever plan, Yalu. It's like you were protecting them from Tao, and they trusted you.
I guess it comes naturally to me.
I see.
Are we the bad guys?
He told you to say that, did he? I have news for you. Some of your fellow Hebrews came questioning my edicts, trying to trick me by blaming my servants. What lazy people you Hebrews are. You just need more work to keep you busy. This request is foolishness. You have no right to worship any god except me. Moses, I can tell you are a man of influence. I will make you a bargain. Give up your request, and I shall give you power and position in my court. I may even reconsider my edicts about your people. What do you say? I am the most powerful god in Egypt. Where is this other god? Can you even tell me his name? If your god truly has power in Egypt, then let him perform a miracle. Ha! Perform a miracle. Is that surrender? What? Is this sorcery? Summon my magician! Do something!
As you command, O Pharaoh, O great Wajet, protector of Lower Egypt, we call upon your power here in our time of need. In the name of Pharaoh, give us the power to defeat your enemies. Come now, possess my staff!
As you can see, Moses, you're not the only magician in Egypt.
You are now face to face with Wajet, the goddess of snakes.
Snake fight. Okay, that was a weird way to end it. Moses and Aaron just walking away, who apparently don't get voice actors anymore. The war has begun, a war between this obscure Hebrew god and all the gods of Egypt. Might and wits are brought to bear. Rashidi sends his spies to find out more about this god and his emissaries Moses, character Yalu. Plague 1, water to blood.
And so, you see, Pharaoh, in his wisdom, made the edict about the straw to prevent the Hebrew slaves from being idle, which leads to your next task, directly from him. I needn't say the consequences for failure. A man named Mutmos, or Moses, as he calls himself now, caused trouble at the palace. You are to dig up every piece of information on him that you can. This man will help you get started.
I don't know where he is, but I can take you to someone who does.
What is the meaning of this?
It's blood. When I filled it from the basin, it was water. But then I looked down and saw...
Did not Moses perform magic today for Pharaoh there?
Moses. Yes, it all makes sense. Can you see it? Can you smell it? This is what that man is doing to Egypt. He must be stopped. Therefore, your mission is of the utmost importance. Go now. Let's be off.
Finally have an excuse to turn the gamut down. Still kind of bright.
You, Flesh and Fire, what are you doing here? Me? I work here. It seems Rashidi needs more help keeping these Hebrew slaves making bricks. I wager it's because the other soldiers here aren't doing their job.
Not us. We just got a new task.
You're a bandit and a liar. Is that so? Well, I'm also working for your employer, so you'd best be nice to me.
Why?
I'd hate to bring a complaint against you. Complaint? Just wait until...
I don't think the ancient Egyptians had HR.
Yes. Stop standing around being lazy and get back to work. Let's be off. Pass the wind. Leor, how did you get mixed up with Rashidi?
One of the foremen ratted me out for guarding the caravan Moses arrived on, and I got slapped with a summons by the overseer.
Not the last time you'll get slapped, I wager. But tell me, where are we going?
The House of Noon. His head servant may know where Moses is staying. After our caravan arrived in the city, I'd lost track of him. But this man should know. What about you?
Another job fell on me.
I'm gonna have noon of that.
Press the
Yep, you can call the chickens.
Pass the wind. Let's be off. Go ahead.
Hey, I want over this drink over here, please.
We can't. This is reserved for Pharaoh and his overseers.
Hey, a drink over here, please.
Hey, can I get a drink here?
Hello, a drink.
I don't know.
Marky, one drink.
Look elsewhere.
Look, I got a hippo on me.
If all the water is blood, then how do we satisfy our thirst?
I think I was taking damage during the entire cutscene because of the hippo. Yeah, hippos are dangerous, but especially in a cutscene, apparently.
Let's be
Cole, of course, it's hungry hippos. Oh yeah, that Nile is made of blood. Those are some huge crocodiles.
Greetings, O'Shea. We've come inquiring about Yadid. Is he here?
Regretfully, no. He's been kidnapped. What business do you have with Yadid?
Kidnapped? How did it happen?
I don't know. I was in the market. I was about ready to round up some servants to go look. Why do you care about Yadid? Leave it to us. We'll find out what happened to him and perhaps bring him back. Well, that would be very good of you. But you still haven't told me what you want with him.
If there is any dirty work, all of us are capable and will surely come out victorious.
I wouldn't mind coming with you then.
No, you're the heir to the household. I'm sure your father wouldn't approve.
That is true, he wouldn't. Then it's decided. We'll take care of it.
Ha! Yes, Yalu the Rescuer is at it again.
Yalu the Rescuer? Maybe I can learn
pretty
how
good
to do
epithet.
that too.
Oh, Lior is just teasing. Pay him no mind. Oh no. They never told me why they wanted Yadid. My father's gonna kill me.
Again? This is the second time I've soft locked my... Oh, now I can't even move. So I'm supposed to talk to traders, but apparently not these traders. Jeremy, I have a Kopesh. Wait, hold on. It actually put up a translation for a moment. Do not harm cows during this time of the feast of Apis. The calf of gold will bring swift retribution to any who disobey. Oh. Seems I should have. Well, to be fair, this is early access, so. Can I talk to you? Nope. You're not a relevant trader. Are you a relevant trader?
Figs! Do you want some figs?
I'd love a fig. Figs are great.
Best vegetables around. Come and take a look. Let's be off.
So, where do we start?
Hosea said Yadid was kidnapped at the market. We should question the traders there.
More Egyptians. Haven't you mistreated us enough?
Can't you see I'm busy?
I heard something, yes. They mentioned taking Yadid to the southern part of whatever district they were taking him to.
What? Who? Haven't seen anything.
Well, you're not helpful.
Let's be off. Best vegetables around. Come and take a look.
want some figs?
I don't know what qualifies as the market
Best
versus not.
vegetables around. Come and take a look.
More Egyptians. Haven't you mistreated us enough?
I need a basket of figs, 3 onions. Oh, yes, and some beets.
Can't forget the beats.
Can't you see I'm busy? Can't you see I'm busy?
Yeah, did you say? Or Nun's chief servant? Yes, he was taken right across from my stand. They said something about being in view of the temple to Ta.
Okay, just one more clue.
Let's be off.
All these people and no one knows. Can I just take the chariot?
Yeah, did you say? Or Nun's chief servant? Yes,
No, we already
he
asked
was
you.
taken right across from my stand. They said something about being in view of the temple to Ta.
That's 3 clues so far.
They'll give us a good idea.
I got the same clue twice,
get
and
going.
that
How about we
counts.
take those?
Okay, game. Oh, this controls terribly. Its turning point is in the center of its mass, as best as I can describe it. So it's like you're trying to drift the front and the side and the back. Apparently, I'm just gonna run over everyone in town. Multi-horse drifting. Oh, cool. The horses were just gonna keep running. Is the e-brake the tail?
There's no escape for you.
What do you mean it was
swine.
turned into a...
There's no escape for
What
you.
do you mean it turned
swine.
into a stealth mission without telling me? Why can't I just go
Get
in
him.
swords ablazing to rescue him?
There's no escape for you, swine! What's over there?
Okay, I was trying to jump across to get that relic, but whatever.
Cursed filth! There's no escape for you, swine! What's over there?
Apparently I can climb this wall.
Cursed filth! Cursed filth! There's no escape for you, swine!
Don't understand the mechanics sometimes of how they can see versus not see. It's just a dude right there, so I can't just go in that way.
What's over there?
What up, you deed?
Ha!
Got you!
Taste my blade!
Retreat!
It's a very synchronized retreat.
Let's be off. Pass the wind.
Oh good, they gave me a chariot pointing the right way. No! I don't want to get in that chariot. Oh dear. Don't mind me. I think they need to put a chariot speed limit in place. You know, chariot accidents are up like 54% this year. All because of that Yalu guy who moved in.
Let's be off. Pass the wind.
Dang, I only scored one there. I think there's a piece missing. Moses and Aaron did so as Yahweh commanded, and he lifted up the rod and struck the waters that were in the river in...
This is Aaron's manor. My debt to you is repaid.
How do we know this is the right house? I don't see Moses about.
You know where I live. Trust me, if you watch here, you'll see him eventually.
So what do we do now?
Set up a watch in one of the neighboring houses.
This one, over here, has a good overlook into the courtyard. I'll barter use of the second floor room for us.
Okay, well, the plot thickens. Are we going to join Moses' cause in the end? I don't know. We're going to find out, though, but next week. Because that's going to be a perfect place and time to call it for this edition of Let Us Play. Thank you so much for tuning in to everyone. I've been your host, Father Evan. It's been good to be with y'all today on this fascinating game. I can't imagine there's much more to it, so we'll probably be able to finish it next week. But join us again tomorrow for midweek Minecraft, and then tomorrow night, I'm doing a bonus stream with P. Tony as a lead up to the Game of Favorites. So he and I are going to be checking out some Factorio gameplay starting 8 p.m. Eastern. Then Thursday, we will be continuing our adventures in Myst. And then Friday, it will be on Game of Favorites at 8 p.m. Eastern. Next week, I haven't made up my mind yet. I might take Monday off because it's President's Day. It's a holiday, so I may just take it as a 3-day weekend, even though, when you work Sundays, it's not a 3-day weekend. But might take it as a holiday. Well, I'll find out. I'll keep you updated. But other than that, I think that's everything. So thank you to everyone who's liked, followed, subscribed, given bits, all that good jazz. Everyone who's checked out the YouTube and the Discord, thank you so much. We're almost to 100 subs on the YouTube, which is awesome. That's been growing mostly organically, actually, on its own, which has been really cool to see. Yeah, join us again tomorrow. So thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and why don't we see who's live that we can raid into? Gonna send you on over to Willpog. He's playing FTL. I love that game. He's normally just a just chatting streamer. Yeah, Knights of Columbus being nice. Hope you have a good time. Raid call will be actual gameplay. Because I think it's funny to see him actually playing a game. I know he does that from time to time, but still. So yeah, so head on over there, give him some love. He's a good guy. Mostly just chatting, drinks a lot of coffee. And again, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care, and God bless.